you're in Silver Lake and you see nothing but white guys with this.
Yep.
Chewing a milk dud just feels like slavery to me, and I don't like it. So
You don't get aura from working out, but you get confidence from working out, and the confidence could lead to aura.
I feel like that's a hot take. Somebody might try to wring my neck in the comments, but Tim Walz is a conservative. Like, he's a gun-loving owner. He was in the military. You're not gonna press me on this shit.
I mean, the first question was like, should we do a first strike on Iran? Like,
he was like, yeah.
yeah.
And I was like, that's a conservative. There's nothing attached to it. It just says don't say. Don't say? Shit. See? That's the title. That's the title. That's how we start. This is probably how the entire video starts. Don't say shit. Don't say shit. Don't.
Oh my god, don't piss me off.
We should have some.
Just one.
Just kill it. No. There's like 3 pieces in there.
It's like 5.
Some local delicacy.
Local to where?
Pennsylvania.
Was this made by the Hershey company?
Yeah.
Does nerds own Hershey? Or wait, does Hershey own nerds? Other way around. I don't think nerds is big enough to own Hershey.
Nerds might be.
But then again, there's that one company that owns another company, and I was like, when did they get the money for that? And I don't even remember which 2 companies. Let's see. Who owns nerds?
Ferrara Candy Company.
Ooh.
Manufactured in Chicago, Illinois.
Nestle. Oh, wait. Nestle. So, damn. Piece of candy. The Ferrara. Who owns Ferrara?
Diddy.
That's crazy. Don't make me do these loops. Which candy does Hershey own?
Hershey bars, Reese's, I think.
They own Jolly Ranchers and Twizzlers.
Crunch, they own Crunch too.
Oh, yeah. Snickers?
Do they?
Maybe.
I think they might, yeah. Actually, I don't know.
Mars or Hershey.
3 Musketeers.
Because there's literally only 2 companies that are competing chocolate companies in the U.S.
Mars and Hershey's?
Yeah. So I was like, no, who owns this shit? Stop playing with me. Because it's like, it's owned by the Ferrero Company. I'm like, yeah, and who owns the Ferrero Company? And the Ferrero Company is owned by the Italian brothers.
Tier list.
Tier list of candies?
We get every candy at 7-Eleven.
Bro, you have for somebody who was not for 7-Eleven when we went. Now you keep going.
Well, actually, today I didn't go. I went to the gas station.
Ah.
The gas station's better. It's just so much better. It's crazy.
You can't walk in there at night.
You can walk in there at night.
I don't know. They don't vibe with you sometimes. Really? Nights, they're like, no. And I'm like, my guy, come on, you know me. They're like, I do. But no.
Yeah. Maybe not late night.
Mars owns, like, the bottom barrel candy.
Yeah, Mars bars.
At the top, they have Snickers and Starburst, but then it's like, they own Juicy Fruit. Who the fuck is still chewing Juicy Fruit?
I don't even remember what Juicy Fruit is.
And Hubba Bubba.
Hubba Bubba's sick, though.
They also own Big League Chew.
Big League Chew is also sick.
It's
those
fucking
are deeper cut candies.
It's like what's going on? They own Kind, and that's
Kind?
random.
That is really random.
The chocolate company owns Kind, but then Hershey. You go to Hershey, Jolly Rancher, Reese's,
Musketeers, right?
Kit Kat,
which is gross, by the way.
This little chart doesn't even show me all of the things.
I just assume because like In the Halloween packs that you get, they have those together.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, those are like... I don't know what people were thinking when they were making that one. Fuck is Score?
Score? I don't know.
Little crown in
Well, it looks like it's like some chewing tobacco or something.
Maybe. They also own Icebreakers, Twizzlers, Almond Joy, Milk Duds.
Oh, Twizzlers are good, actually.
How long has it been since you had a Milk Dud? The longest candy to ever chew ever.
Oh my god, they can be so hard too.
It's crazy. It takes forever to chew a Milk Dud. You'll be chewing a Milk Dud for 17 years.
I honestly kind of wouldn't mind them though.
I don't know.
You
Chewing
get
a
them
milk
in the Halloween.
in the like pack. Oh yeah, in the little box thing.
Yeah, the paper box.
It feels like chewing a Milk Dud just feels like slavery to me, and I don't like it, so I just don't chew Milk Dud.
I think it's designed to like do the most harm on your teeth. It's like the most sugar attached to your teeth for the longest time. But that's part of the pleasure.
Wow, I got a Twisted Tea ad. Too bad I'm not drinking a Twisted Tea. Keep it twisted.
This video is brought to you by Simply Spiked Lemonade. Simply Spiked Lemonade, best lemonade to simply drink. It's simply good lemonade.
Gets you lifted. You'll be at attention whenever you see your brothers, just like the Mickey Mouse in Silver Lake's The Friend. Have you been to The Friend? You don't know what I'm talking about.
The Friend?
I'll show you. I'll show you my good brother Mickey Mouse in arms. It's disturbing. So imagine you're in the middle of a club. In the corner of the club, there's a Mickey Mouse statue. Also, the club kind of looks like an ice cream shop, but that's besides the point. In the middle of the club, there's a statue of Mickey Mouse.
Like a big statue?
It's a pretty big statue. It's probably like 6 feet tall. Yeah. This is what the statue looks like.
Wow. It's like a brass statue or something. Copper statue? Oh my. Wow. That is crazy.
He is at attention.
Wow.
That's the nuttiest thing ever.
Bricked up.
You go in and you're like, what the fuck are we doing here? What are we doing?
Hollywood?
No.
Silver Lake?
It's in Silver Lake, which is really funny because then you go to Silver Lake and it's like, where's that other picture? I showed this to my friend and I was like, POV, you're in Silver Lake. You're in Silver Lake and you see nothing but white guys with this.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. This is the Silver Lake fit of the month. Or the year.
I stay away from there.
Bro, that's not your spot? You're not fucking with Silver Lake?
I'm scared if I like hang out there too long, then
you'll become
our rent will
one of
go
them?
up here. Like they'll be like, you've been hanging out in Silver Lake.
We know what you got in your bank.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe. I feel like Silver Lake apartments aren't that expensive. Maybe just like...
From what I saw, it was rough. Like, I remember searching.
you were looking.
I was looking in a bunch of neighborhoods.
You could have lived right next to Food Not Bombs.
I could have, but the thing is, you sacrifice everything. You're like living in a tiny apartment with like
Wouldn't that have
no
been cool?
windows and like
You're paying for like all that shit and then you're never there. Wouldn't that have been like wild if you were like, I found a good spot. Deal's not too crazy.
Hey, while I'm here, I like food and comfort. While I'm here.
You're like, yo, you want to go to Food Not Bombs? Yeah, I'll just meet you there. What do you mean you'll meet me there? I live so close. What's it like to not have to drive there? I wonder if you could walk there.
I biked there. I used to bike there.
Is it like 4 miles? 3 miles? I feel like it's not
It's
3
like
miles.
I think it's like a 30-minute walk. It's like not that bad.
I was going to
You
say.
can walk there.
I feel like LA makes me think that things are like more distanced than they are. Because like 4 miles will take you 30 minutes and it's like, what am I in hell?
Well, it's like super optimized for cars and super unoptimized for pedestrians. So like,
I don't even know if it's optimized for cars.
Well, it's not optimized for traffic, but it's optimized for like road cars, I would say.
I wonder what LA would be like if there was less traffic. Would you get to places faster? Well, actually, never mind. I'd be driving around from places and then go like back home at like 2 a.m. and I'll be like, damn, imagine what this could be.
I mean, it's like a topic that's talked about at length. I don't know. I think it's more. I guess I've never owned a car here, so like I was thinking about how it would be to live here with a car. And it's so much more freeing, and like you basically have like full autonomy.
Yeah.
Like I feel like living without a car has been so limited in that sense, but it's also very freeing in the sense of like not having to pay for a car, not having to deal with a car, and like parking I really, really don't like. Like I don't like looking for a spot and stuff. Like once I'm at the destination, I want to like be at the destination.
Yeah.
Yeah,
shout out LA parking.
Yeah.
I show up to places and I'm like, I finally made it on time. And then I'm like, no, I didn't. There is no parking anywhere near me.
It's fucked. Yeah, I mean, without traffic, I feel like it wouldn't be that much different. Maybe you could like go to different places. You can go to more places in the day, but I still think like, well, actually, I don't know. I guess you'd still be driving yourself. Like you'd still be dealing with parking and stuff like that. So
yeah,
there's still these downsides.
The only interesting thing that I found about living in LA, driving wise, is not like the traffic. That's the shit that everybody always talk about. Why the fuck at 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 12 a.m. or p.m. other way around. There we go. 12 p.m. That stretch of time frame. Why the fuck are there so many people outside? What the fuck is going on? I don't know. No one has a job. No one has a job. Like I go places, I'm like, what the fuck are there so many people here? It's a Tuesday afternoon.
What time?
Like 3. You should still be in your office.
Where are you then?
And sometimes I'm in the Arts District. NoHo. West
Oh,
Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
West Hollywood especially. I'm like, why are there so many fucking people outside? What do you guys do? It's like, you must all have remote jobs.
I wouldn't know. I don't go outside.
Not. You just told me like last week you went to some really cool spot.
Oh, yeah. I went there
close.
today, actually, for a little bit. But there weren't that many people. It was like, I was like one of like 2 or 3 people.
I don't think
because I think the AC was busted. It was really fucking hot in there.
I was like, I don't think the people who live in Koreatown are like that. Because I'll go places in Koreatown and they'll be empty. I step outside of this area, this little prefecture of Los Angeles. I'm like, what the fuck? Where are your jobs?
That's a really good question. I think it is a bunch of fucking remote workers.
So, like, I like experimented with like what time to go to the gym works the best.
Yeah.
It would be the clearest. There's never a time. Every hour of every day. I went in that bitch at 1 a.m. one time.
Everyone's
Packed.
seeking a third place. Everyone wants a third place.
Pick a different one.
You need a third place.
No. I'm trying to get ripped.
No.
Fuck. I'm trying to get that Zorro from One Piece physique. Zorro from One Piece core. Zorro from One Piece core. You know?
Do you do like the main free weights? I know you've
It's
been
mainly
squatting.
free weight, yeah.
That's good. Yeah. The
Like-
Zorro, there's probably like a workout routine video out there for
There's
Zorro
a dude that
specifically.
did one, and I was like, I'm not doing this shit. Because he did it, and he was like, I would not do this. And he's like he's like a fitness instructor. As like, I guess he probably is a full-time YouTuber at this point. But at the time, he wasn't, and he was like a fitness instructor. So he was like, I'm just going to do this because you guys have been asking for this challenge. And he made like one modeled after a bunch of like workouts that have been seen in the show, but then also just like workouts that would like emphasize the muscles or like focus on the muscles that like you wanted to build out to have that physique. And he was like, I would not do this again. This man is a monster. And I was like, yeah, no shit.
Millions of like Baki workouts to the Baki back or whatever.
Like, no.
Yeah.
Every time I see like anime inspired workout, I'm like, Now do it again
Yeah.
for the next 6 months, and you tell us how it goes. And
One
they're
Punch
like,
Man.
I'm not gonna do that.
One Punch Man, like, you could kind of do it, though.
You could do it.
What is 100 push-ups, 100 squats, 100 sit-ups,
And then
10 mile? That might be a lot.
yeah, it's 10-mile run every day.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
I think, like, without the run, that's doable.
You would also need, yeah, that's like, but that I feel like that wouldn't really do that much for you, because like, as far as like body weight goes, there's like limitations to how much you can develop based off of using your body, unless you're doing like not CrossFit. What's the other one called? Fucking, it's based on your body weight. And they
Body
do,
weight,
like,
fitness,
they like do like a
calisthenics.
muscle up calisthenics.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing calisthenics. But if you're doing like traditional exercises, there's only so far that your body will go. And it's like, damn, that's crazy.
I feel like we don't hit that super
Nah.
frequently, though. And then I also think it takes, I think it's, the gains are realized way slower with that. So we just don't see it
Yeah.
as fast, which is like part of the reason why we think it's less effective.
I mean, there's also like a good example is like monks. Monks workout.
Yeah.
They do a lot of those exercises,
They
but they
can be
also
ripped.
introduce like weights.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like it's like it's not a like traditional weight, but they will introduce like weighted methods to do things.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that they can like increase the intensity.
Increase hypertrophy or whatever.
You know,
Hypertrophy.
medical vibes, terminology, build that chi.
Yeah. Build that hockey.
The hockey. Not the hockey. Why?
Build the aura.
There we go. You gotta max that
But
aura.
aura, it has nothing to do with that. Aura is completely different. You don't get aura from working out, but you get confidence from working out, and the confidence could lead to aura.
I feel like that's a hot take. I
Well,
feel like that's a hot take.
I mean, it's not that much different. Like,
what you're saying is I'm not getting aura as I go into the gym every day when I go to the
I mean,
gym.
look at like you can just look around and like understand that not everyone has aura. There could be some guy that's ripped, but like he's just like one of those.
Maybe it's because he lacks decorum and not aura. Maybe he has all.
I'm
the
not saying aura is always good. Also, you don't need to have aura to like be
Bro's an aura hater.
be cool or whatever. Like aura, a lot of the time, if you care about aura too much, I feel like it's like you care too much about perception, you know.
Damn,
and
where's Jesse at a time like this?
That's negative aura at that point.
Where's Jesse at a time like this? We were talking in here one time, and he's like, "Do you think I'm that guy?" And I was like, "Jesse, what the fuck is going on right now, dog? What are we talking about?" He's like, Do you think I'm that guy?" I was like, "What are you talking? I'll play the game. What are we talking about?" And he was like, "You know, like when you think of that guy, you think it's me?" And I was like, "Jesse, that guy would not ask if he's that guy." And he was like, "Yeah, that's a good point."
Yeah,
Aura depleted.
yeah. It's but hey, like you spend it. I think you're supposed to spend it on big things like
The aura points?
the aura points because you need to. It's like you need to use it. Like you need to share shit.
Oh, yeah.
You need to your mysteriousness. You need to decrease your mysteriousness at some point. Use the mysteriousness to get people's attention. I think that's like the theory. I think that's like what people subconsciously do. They like get this like they kind of pique people's curiosity and then they'll use it on something, right? Because we have this whole attention economy. It's that
Okay.
attention. This is like aura
Okay.
theory right now. This is aura theory.
This is aura theory? Wait, what the
Yeah.
fuck is aura theory?
This is aura theory, and it's just this new.
Oh, aura theory. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about right now? What are we saying? What are you, aura theory? I was like, oral theory.
Oh, yeah. That's a whole nother thing I can get into.
Whoa.
But I think that would be behind a paywall type shit, you know.
Exactly. Fuck him. I don't even know if this will come clearly we'll find out.
I mean, I think Supreme, like, on a serious, like, fashion analysis, it's like you can get, like, a designer like Martine Rose, who's like really popular now. Mm-hmm. You can get like a collaboration piece, or like Yoji Yamamoto, like undercover with Supreme, and it's actually going to be cheaper than like that main label's like clothes. And it'll be like more streetwear, and like, you know, you could like wear it out and shit, and it's cool, and it has like.
Isn't this all just like hype shit?
Yeah, but then it's like, then why do you? I don't know. Like, you have to really like the design, I feel like, to justify that. Versus like Martine Rose, most people just like Martine Rose because Kendrick was wearing Martine Rose.
I was like,
Kendrick just boosted that shit, and I feel like that's so much of like.
If I'm gonna be basic, put me in some Issey Miyake. Level the playing field.
I mean, that's kind of the same shit.
It is.
Like,
it's literally the same. That's why I was like, if I'm gonna be basic.
Yeah, I mean, it's. If you're just doing it for the brand and the logo, I feel like it's kind of lame. You have to like really like the design. But
I was like, for the most part, I try to stay away from understanding streetwear culture because it all just feels like it blends in with hypebeast culture. Yeah. And I'm like, what if I don't want bathing apes?
Yeah, that's why I got the Homer cock ring, because I just like the design. I don't care about the branding that much. It's just more about.
You got the what? Is that real?
It just cost 10 G's.
Yo, I saw that.
Yeah.
I did see that. That's real. I was like, nah, that's not real. That is real. That's crazy. Who made that?
I can imagine.
This is your shit. This is your area, bro. You don't know who made it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know. I'm not much of a hypebeast. I just found I was looking for, you know, the gems.
Bro, Mike Will could have made it, and you don't know. Mike Will could have made it, and you don't even know. I was like, only you're gonna get this joke because it's a fucking stupid ass producer tag.
You know what's funny, actually?
Oh no.
Tangential that, you know, would be random to include in this, but Jason like knows Mike Will or some shit.
I believe you.
And like they've like, I think they've
Kicked
like
it,
exchanged
made a song,
or like I think they may have made music. I don't know, but he has some Alabama connection.
Hey, honestly, that's one thing about like making music and being from the South. They'll just be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna work with you," like no thought past it, and it's like just like an honorary, like we are from the same space. Mm-hmm. We gotta do this. Whereas I have found that like the East Coast, it's like 50-50. People are like, "You from where? Who you know over there?" Yeah, fuck all that. Yo, I don't know that nigga like that. I met him in passing. Yeah, but we don't fuck with him over here. What if I don't fuck with him? And then the West Coast, I don't know. I feel like it's probably the same situation where it's like, but I feel like there's a little bit more unity in the West Coast way of doing it.
West Coast is, for collaborations, I've actually found it's really solid. Yeah.
I was like, I don't know, your experience?
I think people take other people for granted here than in like New York, actually, because there's so fewer people, and in New York there's like so many more. So, and I think that's probably true in the South too. Like, since there's like
less
fewer people overall,
yeah.
It's like you really have to treat people like
they're worth more.
They're worth more than like some interchangeable artist or something. Like they bring something unique, and like, which every one of us do. But it's like, why am I being so serious about some of these topics? But
that's so funny. I don't know. This is literally how you talk. Remember when I was like,
I'm just off the brown right now.
Off the brown, bro. I'm getting another drink. Which one is coming out of the fridge next, BB?
Dude, get some of this. Get some of the Whistle Pig.
Are you allowed to say that? What is that? Is that okay? Can we get? Am I gonna get?
I haven't Googled that. It could be unsafe, you know.
This is the whistle pig.
With American whiskey, you can't really know.
It's really called the whistle pig. Piggyback. I'm afraid to drink this now.
You don't put on rocks, or you do?
Oh, I can't get into the freezer. The camera's in there.
Dude, just open it. That's hard. Or at least put a little water in it. It's gonna be harsh otherwise, like a splash.
Brother, the drink don't need no mix. In the words of Shabuzi, the drink don't need no mix.
Look at this tone difference. Have fun.
Okay, not bad.
I can't drink it neat. That's crazy.
I was not kidding. I drink a lot of whiskey. It's like my shit.
You
like,
drink it neat?
Yeah. Depends on the whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
Like
American whiskey, or you like
Japanese whiskey. I'll drink neat. I'll drink Jameson neat.
Dude, we could have just been drinking fucking whiskey this whole year, and you just don't.
You were not here. I don't know how to make you understand.
I was here a lot of time.
I don't know how to get you to understand. You were not living here.
I wasn't here for part of December. Actually, I don't want to go to the calendar. Yeah, no, I wasn't here a lot.
I was like, if we really look at your lease and how many times you were here, it was probably like 6 months out of the year.
Yeah.
And you're leaving before month 6, so. That's so crazy. Yeah. We have you not noticed that we have so many whiskey bottles? I mean, that's all Jesse shit because he just keeps buying whiskey. I don't know why.
He drinks whiskey?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
See, you're just not coming to the
Dude,
right
both
household.
of y'all drink whiskey? Fuck. We could have just been drinking whiskey on some unk shit.
Exactly, bro. Stand
That's
out
like a
on the
fucking
porch,
dream of mine. I feel
being like, damn, we needed this rain. I did that during a hurricane in Texas with my old roommate. I was like, you know what we got to do, right? He was like, hell yeah. We go outside. We're like, we needed this. And I posted it, and all of our friends were like, I fucking hate both of you. I was like, what do you mean? This is the height of manhood.
This is like some stereotypical man shit that I actually fuck with heavily.
Let's
like,
go.
So good.
Dudes sitting down, drinking whiskey, talking about the debacles such as... Wait, you didn't even watch the debate.
I watched the highlights. I'm like tuned up now.
I unironically, because of the debate, I'm like, all right, I feel more comfortable voting for... I don't want to say her name wrong because I always say her name wrong.
Kamala Harris?
Kamala. And the reason I say her name wrong is because I saw this like Twitter thread, and it was like a couple of Indian guys, and they were like, nobody's saying her name right in the first place. Yeah. And I was like, how the fuck do you say her name? Wait. And everybody was like, you're not saying it right. It's Kamala. And Trump is like, Kamala. And I'm like, bro, I know that's wrong. But what is the other intonation? Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, it's been really funny when people are like correcting. They're like,
it's Kamala.
It's Kamala.
Like, I don't think that's right either.
That. Yeah.
And like, I think somebody was noting that like her sister said it right in an interview one time, and nobody has taken that.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a fuck about that shit.
There's like plenty of Indian folks that don't care. Like they don't care. Or like they want to assimilate. They want to like do it as smoothly as possible and be as convenient as possible.
That's fair.
And like for a politician, that super makes sense because they're just trying to. But I don't like it.
It's kind of. It's so interesting to think about that because like, isn't her dad like he's not a communist.
He's a Marxist professor.
Yeah,
like
I was like, I don't think he's actually a communist, but I think he teaches Marxism.
Yeah, I mean, what is actually a communist? How do you determine that? I mean,
I don't know. It failed, brother. It never. It never works. What do you mean? We don't even need to talk about things that never work.
That's a real communist. Yeah.
But no, I was like, honestly, this debate has made me more comfortable with the concept of voting for her, not on the basis of any of her policies or who she is as a person, but actually on the contrary. Because I remember that somebody was explaining like vice president shit, and they were like, essentially the basic idea for like a vice president is to get them to be the president. So that's like what the role they will fulfill next is.
Yeah.
And I was like, I would be much more comfortable with this man with Waltz as a president than her, because like, and then there's like the whole like conversation where people are like, they neutered him, and it's like, yeah, I believe that, because he was talking hot and heavy at the fucking rally when he got announced, and then they were like, yeah, turn that down, don't talk about him fucking couches. And I was like, no, that's why we fucked with him.
Yeah, he was like agreeing and shit, and it's just like, I think if I do like him more than Kamala too, like just based on policy alone, but I think it is like gearing us up for that like reach across the aisle uniparty style of politicking, and it's just like with a veneer of like this new age.
That's why I was like, if I'm gonna get a conservative, give me him. That's fine. And like, somebody might try to wring my neck in the comments, but Tim Waltz is a conservative. Like, he's a gun-loving owner. He was in the military. You're not gonna press me on this shit.
I mean, the first question was like, should we do a first strike on Iran? Like,
he was like, yeah. And I was like, that's a conservative. That's a conservative man right there.
Should we build that wall? Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. we should deal with immigration. Yeah, all right. Look, guys, these are two conservative men on the talking heads, and they're debating whose conservatism is better.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, this is like, I feel like all the like white moderates were like really in tune with this, because they're like, finally, like this crazy guy and this like brown woman, like they're finally not talking anymore. Finally, we can get the real like
story.
the real practical people, you know. Like,
even with like JD Vance and him like becoming sort of buddy. That part I was like, I'm confused.
That's what
right
pissed
now.
me off about that debate. Like,
it was like, they're like, yeah, no, I agree with him. I agree with some of the things he's saying, and I was like, all right.
That's where like that's the most nefarious like neo-lib type shit, where it's like you legitimize the other position and like narrow the window of like what's possible based on those two positions, and it's like just happening like in real time. I don't know. I feel like if I was like any normal person would go and see that, and they'd be like, okay, well, these are two people like agreeing. They both seem like, or at least one of them seems somewhat reasonable, or maybe both of them, and it's like,
I feel like it probably
crazy.
Also like pulled into that, like, before Kamala was announced, there was like this long ass like drawn out like romanticism of like old politics happening on like TikTok, where people were just making like different TikToks, just like, this is what old politics used to be like. And it was like Obama and Mitt Romney debating, and they're having like it was Mitt Romney that he fucking went against, right? John McCain.
John McCain, yeah.
There we go. It was Obama and John McCain, and they're like having their like debate, and then they're like it was.
Oh no, he also. I think he also went against Mitt Romney in the second election.
Okay, I was like, it was. Oh yeah, the video was Mitt Romney, and they were like having their debate, and then it was like the same thing as like the Tim Waltz thing, where it was like, no, like I agree with some of the things he said, and it was like they were complimenting each other, and I was like, I feel like you guys just. I feel like you guys just want politics to like not mean shit.
It's what we think of like when we think of like moderate or something, which is like moderate is in my head, it's like someone who is pretty right wing ultimately at the end of the day, and it's like just dressed up in a way that appeals to like centrists who really is probably the most dumb position you could ever have, because it's like,
what's that?
You're just trying to. You don't know you're not doing the actual analysis to understand like what position is better, but you're trying to do a safe position to appear as like.
It's like that like old saying. Also, I hate when I go on dating apps and people are like moderate, and I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
God.
What does that mean to you? Like, I want to match with you so I can ask you what it means, but I don't want the time to be wasted on you. What do you mean you're a moderate in the United States of America? You're a liar. It doesn't exist. It's like that old saying, the like fiscally conservative, but liberally. Wait, what's
fiscally conservative but socially liberal.
Socially liberal. There we go.
Yeah.
I was like, what is that phrase? Yeah, that. I hate that. I'm like, you're conservative.
Yeah.
You're conservative. That's okay with abortions. Got it.
And also, you look at JD Vance and you look at Mitt Romney, and there's like similarities. Like JD Vance, I feel like actual hog types are like, they don't like him. Like he's kind of a liberal in their eyes. And then Mitt Romney, they like called a rhino. Like Donald Trump and like all these other guys, they've called him a rhino. Like,
well, I mean,
Republican only name shit. Like that's.
There's also like Jubilee has that stupid ass video where it's like Republicans versus Trump supporters.
Oh.
And I'm like, are there factions in conservatism right now? Yeah. Like it's literally like hard Trumpers, and then it's like, I have conservative values. I'm not voting for Trump, so you're not a conservative. What the fuck are we talking about right now? No, we have the same stances. I'm just not putting my vote behind that man. So you're a fucking liberal. No, what? I'm gonna vote for Biden.
I need to watch that one, actually.
Liberal.
That's really entertaining. That sounds really entertaining.
Like, it's the funniest thing, because it's just like one woman's like, you're a liberal. And it's like, every time, like, he gets to the point, like, this dude gets to the point where he's like, so personally, for me, I'm going to vote. It's like, he's like 21 or something. Mm-hmm. And he's like, so personally, for me, after looking at the, like, situation, I'm going to vote for Biden. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Biden is a conservative.
Yeah.
You would probably want to vote for Biden. He's literally like an old school conservative, and also was an old school conservative. Yeah. Like, it's not like you're like voting out of your party. You're just voting for the guy that changed for a second, but he can't vote for him now. So I really want to know what that dude's stance is now. If he's like still not voting for Trump, I might not vote at all.
Yeah, I'm curious about that too. I mean, I think that's like JD Vance was brought in to recruit those types of people, and I've seen critiques like even like Hassan or something. He thinks that JD Vance was a bad pick, but I actually disagree with him there. I think actually it was a good strategic pick because it gathers those types of voters who are like, well, Biden was good, but Kamala is like a brown woman, and Trump is kind of crazy, but this JD Vance guy, you know, maybe he could help or something. Like,
that's a good point.
That's where I'm seeing actually it is, and he still fumbles and shit. Like,
you know how many people hate Jill Stein?
A lot.
And it's like, dang, what'd she do to you?
I don't know enough about her, but I do know that we have like policy
similarities. Yeah. I like don't know anything about her either, but I put her as like a part of my thumbnail on like the last video.
Yeah. You were talking about voting third party and stuff like that,
but I never mentioned Jill Stein, and half the comments are like, Jill Stein is a Russian asset. And I'm like, I did not talk about Jill Stein. I just said voting third party is not possible in this country. Yeah, like it was like.
You also talk about Cornel West or something, right? Like,
I didn't even talk about him. I didn't mention a single third-party candidate. That's what's funnier about that video, is that like so many people were like, Jill Stein's a Russian asset. And I was like, I didn't say a single one of them. Like, not one. But I almost put Cornel West on the thumbnail and then was like, no. I feel like most people are going to be like, who the fuck is this?
It is kind of silly how we have to like, it is kind of like a baby. I feel like it's like a baby way of thinking about things with just politically thinking about only the presidential election as like a means of, you know,
solving
representation.
all our problems. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, But it would be nice if there was a place where, like, yeah, you could have a grassroots campaign a la Bernie or some shit, but, like, not represented by the DNC. And, like, it works.
Winning third party locally is easy. You can do that.
It's possible.
Winning third party nationally is, like, a task. And it's also, like
even
literally
like
impossible.
Statewide, it's difficult too, I think.
Yeah. I mean, yes and no. You could, if you, like, could convince enough people.
I think there's like two independent, like, senators. Like,
I think there's 5.
Oh, 5?
Yeah, I think there's 5. Because there was, like, I was just videoing this dude was basically explaining how, like, we could get it to the point where we could vote third party. And he was like, there are people who are, like, petitioning. Are, like, setting up a bill so that it can go through Congress and all this shit. And, like, he was like, some of these people are independents.
Yeah.
If you vote for more independents or the people who are on the ballot that have the same view, that, like, have a similar concept, then you will be able to vote third party. And then essentially it's just to remove the, like, electoral college as a, like, necessary piece of winning the election and, like, make the popular vote have an actual representative stance, which is like, why wasn't this a thing in the first place?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? The popular vote that people pick the most is not the one we choose? Nah, we throw it through this interesting functionality where every single person in your region has a set amount of people who vote for you. They also don't have to choose that vote.
It's called DEI, bro. It's called DEI.
It really is. No, that's really... But, like, did you know that they don't actually have to choose that vote?
Oh, they can just use the popular vote?
They can choose... No.
Who's they?
No. When you vote. Senators? Your vote. Who submits your vote? Senators?
Oh, is it senators?
Or is it your congressman? I think it's your senators, right?
Who runs, like, the electoral...
Yeah, the electoral colleges with the senators, right?
Oh, so they can, like, they can either decide to use the popular vote or to...
No.
Wait,
I'm
they have
saying...
to use the popular vote for
No. I'm saying there is no legal obligation for them to submit red or blue. They can pick whichever person they want. And the reason I found this out is because a bunch of, like, people were talking about, like, how as Trump was running, there were a bunch of conservatives coming forward and being like, I'm not going to put my vote towards this guy.
Yeah.
Even if my district votes for him, I'm not going to do it. Mm-hmm. And it was like, wait, hold on. Is that a thing? That's dumb how that's even a thing. I was like, is that a thing you can do? And it was like, yes, you can literally not vote for what the people asked you to vote for. And I was like, it's all based on integrity. Like, it has nothing to do with anything but strictly the integrity of, like, yes, this is what the votes were. Submit that vote. They don't have to. At the end of the day, they could literally be like, no. And be like, actually, this whole time I've been a conservative. Surprise. And that's not illegal either, which is the craziest thing to me. Like, what's that one dude that always comes in, like, fucking sweatpants and shit to his...
Fetterman?
Yeah. And how he's just completely done a 180 and now he's a conservative. Yeah. That's not illegal, which is crazy.
Him a lot, actually.
Because you lied to your constituents.
He had this stroke, and I feel like that changed him, but maybe he was like that all along. I don't know. It's hilarious because, like, conservatives were, like, shitting on him.
And now they're like, yeah.
It's like his brain doesn't work anymore, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, now he's, like, in agreement with their policies.
I was like,
quiet about that.
Bro had a brain problem, and you know what happened? He got dumber, and he was like, I'm voting red. And it was like, come on, dog. Do you not see the correlation?
Hey, who knows? He could have been... I don't know if he was getting, like, APAC money or something before that.
I mean, probably. But he's going pretty hard with it.
Yeah, he's going hard.
Is, like, the thing. Like, he's not, like, lightly dipping his toes into it occasionally. Where like I don't know, like who else?
I voted for him. It's crazy.
Oh, you're foolish.
I voted for him. Well, he was different.
Oh, I guess he was a Democrat
Pre-stroke.
at the time. Yeah, pre-stroke Democrat. Did he show up during his election in sweatpants?
I don't know.
Was he cool like that? Was he just showing up like, fuck this?
Where do you even show up when you're when during an election?
On
As the
TV in
politician?
the ads?
Oh yeah. He's probably drip head to toe in Carhartt regular.
Was it Carhartt? Nah,
Carhartt. Yeah, he's a Carhartt head.
See, you know what? This is the problem with fashion right now.
No,
I can't tell who the fuck a conservative is anymore because everybody's dressed like a fucking Republican, like as a bit, and I'm like, help, help.
Yeah, no.
And it's like, nah. I used to be able to understand. Everybody's dressed like a Republican or they're dressed like a scene kid, and I'm like, bro, are you in the scene? And they're like, nah, dog. I just like this. Fit hard.
We should have a whole discussion about the fashion stuff. I gotta tap out now though because
Gotta get to work.
I gotta get to work. But this is a good little
What a great
little
episode.
chat. Don't say shit.
Yeah.